Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm Mark.
And I'm Chad. Hope you're all doing great today.
Today we're diving into something super practical and popular, motivation hacks. Specifically, two hacks that have been trending around, especially on platforms like TikTok. These are short, sharp, actionable strategies that you can implement immediately to amp up your motivation.
Yeah, I love these kinds of hacks. No fluff, just something that works and you can feel right away. I know a lot of people struggle to get through the day or need that quick hit of motivation. So getting two reliable techniques is gold.
Exactly. And the beauty of these two hacks is that they're simple but grounded in some psychological reasoning. They're not just gimmicks. They actually tap into how our brains work with motivation and behavior.
Awesome. So what are these two hacks? Lay them on me, Mark.
All right. First up is the 2-minute rule. This comes from productivity guru David Allen's Getting Things Done method. The idea is this: if there's a task you need to do and it takes less than 2 minutes, just do it immediately. Don't overthink, don't procrastinate, just knock it out.
Oh yeah, I know that one. It sounds ridiculously simple, but it's effective. Sometimes it's the tiny things that pile up and weigh you down. Doing those 2-minute jobs right away clears the mental clutter.
Exactly. And psychologically, it breaks the inertia barrier. One reason we don't get started is because beginning a task can feel big and overwhelming. But if you say, okay, I'm just going to spend 2 minutes, it lowers the activation energy. Often, once you start, momentum carries you further.
I can say, from personal experience, this rule saves me so many times. I'll be sitting on a text I need to send or a quick email thinking, I'll do it later. But when I remind myself, hey, it's just 2 minutes, I do it right then. And usually, I end up doing more after that too.
And it's not just emails or texts. Cleaning up your desk, making a quick phone call, jotting down a short to-do, all these little wins add up. Those 2-minute wins give a mini dopamine hit, signaling progress, which in turn boosts motivation to tackle bigger stuff.
So true. Plus, if you let small stuff linger, it creates a backlog. That clutter mentally weighs you down and reduces motivation to focus on big priorities. 2-minute wins are like clearing mini hurdles one at a time.
And scientists have found that starting a task often is the hardest part. Once you're engaged, your brain releases dopamine, making you feel good and reinforcing the behavior. So breaking tasks into 2-minute chunks, or just starting with a 2-minute effort, primes your brain for more work.
I've also noticed that this rule helps combat perfectionism. Sometimes you procrastinate because you want to do something perfectly. But when it's just a quick 2-minute task, you relax a bit and say, it only takes 2 minutes, so who cares if it's perfect? That's liberating.
Definitely. It helps reframe the mindset from, I have to do this perfectly, to, I'm just moving forward. And that forward motion builds motivation for the long haul.
What about the second hack?
Right. The second hack is called the motivation mirror trick. It's as simple as it sounds. Stand in front of a mirror, look yourself in the eyes, and speak a short motivational statement or intention out loud.
Ha! Sounds weird, but actually super powerful. I've done versions of this before, like pep talks for myself. I never realized it was a legit hack. How does it work exactly?
Well, research in psychology shows that self-affirmation and positive self-talk boost confidence and reduce stress. Adding the mirror component creates a stronger connection because you're literally facing yourself and making the message more real.
I guess it's like looking someone in the eyes when you talk to them. It forces you to be sincere and accountable. And it's harder to just say empty words when you see your own face.
Precisely. When you say motivating things to yourself in front of the mirror, your brain processes it as a more genuine interaction instead of just internal thoughts. That boosts your belief in what you're saying.
What sort of motivational statements do you recommend?
Anything positive and present tense works well. For example, I am focused and capable, or I've got the energy to get this done, or I choose to keep going. The key is to keep it short, upbeat, and believable.
I like that. It's got to be believable, or it just sounds like talking to yourself for no reason. But when it feels authentic, it can really pump you up.
Right. And you can tailor it based on what you need in the moment. If you're feeling tired, say something energizing. If you're anxious, Use calming affirmations. The mirror trick helps ground those words.
I remember trying this once when I was about to hit the gym after a long day. I just said, "You've got this, Chad. One step at a time." Weirdly enough, it made me want to get up and move instead of crashing on the couch.
That's a perfect example. Plus, doing this trick regularly builds a habit of positive self-talk. Over time, it can rewire your mindset to be more encouraging instead of self-critical. A huge win for motivation.
So these two hacks, the 2-minute rule and the motivation mirror trick, work on different levels. One is about quickly starting action and clearing small tasks. The other is about shifting mindset and boosting belief in yourself.
Spot on. Together, they address motivation both behaviorally and psychologically, which makes them a potent combo.
Are there any common pitfalls people should avoid when trying these hacks?
Good question. For the 2-minute rule, don't trick yourself into small busy work that doesn't actually move you forward. The 2 minutes should be on something meaningful or something blocking bigger progress.
Oh yeah, sneaky distractions disguised as 2-minute tasks are a trap, like checking social media or replying to an unimportant message just because it's quick. That can feel like productivity, but isn't.
Exactly. Be mindful of what counts as productive 2-minute efforts. Also, don't stop at just 2 minutes if you're in flow. The goal is to break inertia, but then capitalize on momentum.
And with the motivation mirror trick, a pitfall might be forcing affirmations that don't resonate. If someone says stuff that feels fake, it can backfire. Better to start with very simple, believable phrases.
Correct. Start small and authentic, then gradually build up to stronger affirmations as your mindset shifts. Consistency also matters. Doing it once is good, but daily practice yields the best results.
I think it's cool that these hacks are super accessible. Anyone can try them right now without special tools or lengthy prep. Perfect for people new to motivation techniques or those who want quick wins.
Definitely. And they don't require huge lifestyle changes, which is why people stick with them. Motivation often feels elusive or complicated, but sometimes simple hacks can get you going more effectively.
Before we wrap up, Mark, do you have a favorite example or story of when one of these hacks really made a difference for you?
Funny you ask. I remember one hectic morning when I was just dreading starting a big project. I caught myself freezing, feeling overwhelmed. Then I used the 2-minute rule. Just wrote the first 2 sentences of an email. That tiny action sparked the whole chain of writing, editing, and sending it that day instead of procrastinating. It totally shifted my mindset.
Love it. For me, the mirror trick has been a game changer for interviews and presentations. Saying, "I am prepared and confident," in front of the mirror before walking in helps me calm nerves and perform better. It's like a secret weapon.
Those practical examples really highlight the power behind these simple hacks. If you're feeling stuck, give one or both a try and observe how your motivation changes.
You know, thinking about the 2-minute rule, it also ties into this bigger idea of making decisions easier. Sometimes our brains get overwhelmed by too many choices, or a big task feels like climbing a mountain. But chopping it down into tiny chunks, a couple of minutes, reduces that pressure a lot.
That's a great point, Chad. In fact, research on decision fatigue tells us that our willpower is limited. So when we commit to a small, manageable action, it conserves our mental energy and keeps our motivation up. It's like priming a pump instead of trying to drain the whole reservoir at once.
Yeah, and that's why this hack is perfect for people who struggle to get started. Because once you've done that 2-minute action, your brain sort of tricks itself, "Hey, I'm already working. Might as well keep going."
Exactly. It's a psychological nudge. Plus, it can snowball into bigger productivity. For example, you might spend 2 minutes tidying your workspace, but suddenly you feel more organized and end up spending 20 minutes on a project afterward.
One thing I also like about the 2-minute rule is that it creates these little wins throughout the day. And those wins add up in your self-esteem. You start feeling more capable and less overwhelmed.
Absolutely, Chad. There's a concept called the progress principle in psychology. Research shows that even small gains or progress in a task boost positive feelings and motivation more than big swings do. So those 2-minute bursts trigger that feeling of achievement.
Switching back to the motivation mirror trick, I think it also taps into something about self-connection. I mean, it sounds kind of silly at first to talk to yourself in the mirror, but actually seeing your own eyes while speaking forces you to really consider what you're saying.
Right. And it also triggers self-awareness. Looking into your own eyes can heighten your emotional state and importance of your words, making affirmations stick better.
It's like when actors rehearse their lines in front of a mirror to get the emotions right. Here, you're rehearsing your own confidence and positivity.
Exactly. And some studies even suggest that mirror self-talk enhances mood and performance more than regular self-talk. So it's more than just putting on a brave face. It's a deeper psychological tool.
I guess timing matters too. Like doing this mirror talk right before you need that boost, before a workout, a stressful call, or a creative session.
Very true. The immediacy helps anchor the positive mindset in the moment it's needed most.
Do you think these hacks apply differently depending on personality or age? Like, some people might feel silly doing the mirror thing or get impatient with the 2-minute rule.
Great question. I think personalizing is key. Not everyone will vibe with the mirror affirmations, and that's okay. Maybe writing a motivating note or recording a voice memo is better for some.
That makes sense. And with the 2-minute rule, some folks might find 2 minutes too short or too long, so adjusting it to fit their rhythm is smart.
Exactly. The principle is to reduce friction and make the start easier. The specific time frame can be flexible.
I also want to highlight something you touched on earlier, avoiding faux productivity. It's easy to get caught in busy work that feels productive, but isn't moving you toward your real goals.
Yeah, that's a common trap. For example, checking emails or answering messages can take quick bursts, but might distract from deep work. So the key is to choose meaningful tasks for your 2-minute bursts.
I've heard people combine these hacks too. Like after knocking out 2-minute tasks, they finish with a mirror pep talk to seal motivation for bigger challenges.
That combo sounds powerful. It works on the action level and the mindset level simultaneously.
As we've talked about a lot, motivation isn't a constant resource. It fluctuates. So having quick, accessible hacks like these keeps you from getting stuck when motivation dips.
Exactly. And the more you practice them, the more you build a toolkit to pull from whenever you need a spark.
It's encouraging too, because sometimes motivation feels like something out of your control. But hacks like this show it's something you can influence right now.
To sum up, these 2 simple hacks, the 2-minute rule and the motivation mirror trick, are practical, evidence-based strategies that anyone can use immediately to boost motivation and momentum.
Yeah, and they're flexible enough to fit different personalities and lifestyles without needing special tools or huge time commitments.
Before we close, let's recap the main points one more time. Hack 1. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, just do it immediately to build momentum and reduce mental clutter.
Hack 2. Use the motivation mirror trick by saying short, positive affirmations, looking yourself in the eyes to boost confidence and mindset.
Avoid common pitfalls, like wasting your 2 minutes on distractions and using affirmations that don't feel authentic.
And remember, consistency is key. These hacks work best when used regularly as part of your daily routine.
So here's our question for listeners. What's your go-to quick motivation hack that always works for you, and why? We'd love to hear your tips or stories in the comments below.
Absolutely. Sharing your hacks might help someone else find the boost they need.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Catch you next time.